Well,
GM, wake up, let's go. Web 2, Web 3, stay in the know. Action, Dabatola, Toki in the zone. Breaking down the latest, straight to your phone. From Web 2 shifts to Web the waves. News, deep dives, hot takes for days. Tech's evolving, the world's in spin. Markets move, let's lock it in. Genzio's here, no time to snooze. Tune in now, get the news. GM. Wake up, let's go. Web 2, Web 3, stay in the know. GM, start the show. GM, wake up, let's go. Web 2, stay in the know. GM, start the show. GM, let's go. Web 2, stay in the know. GM, start the show.
GM everyone, and welcome to another stream. Toki, my man, you are here today, and we are starting this Monday off on the right foot. How you doing?
it's been an absolute crazy weekend. I cannot lie. Watching the Super Bowl, all the craziness. Oh my goodness. And then all the good crypto news that's come along with it. Honestly, I'm enjoying myself. But I also live in Pennsylvania, so I can't say the same for everyone else in the country.
No, this weekend was all right for me. It was like 80 or 85 degrees, I think. Caught up on a few things, like you said. There's the Super Bowl, tons of stuff going on in crypto, which we're going to cover this morning, as well as get to some questions from out there from anyone watching. But yeah, I mean, we're starting off Monday. I'll say it looks a little green in the 24-hour, but like, yeah, I don't know if it's really too green. I mean, there's a couple things that have popped up, but overall, I want to say that from the weekend we had Trump mention big news with tariffs, and I think that kind of got the market a little freaked out, and we saw a drop off. So,
but anytime that we're going to talk tariffs, I feel like the market as a whole is going to feel some kind of drawback because people are anticipating countries to not respond nicely to what we're doing right now.
Yeah, let's see. Let me pull up. Let's do this right here. So yeah, this is just looking even at CNBC, and the first thing right there is imposing 25% tariffs. Now, oddly enough, I think two of the biggest countries that get hit by this is Mexico and Canada, and then China a little behind this. So I don't think this was actually mentioned yet. I was looking this morning. I didn't see any formal announcement. Nothing is updated here. But if that does hit, what do you think would happen? If he formally does say that this tariff is happening, how do you think the market is going to react? Don't want to put you on the spot, but how do you feel?
Honestly, we're going to have a massive pullback. Like, not only on the stock market, but it's going to just transcribe directly over to crypto as well. Because there's so many companies. I mean, even just think of tokenized commodities. How many people are going to feel safe utilizing commodities where this is like the main infrastructure that you're talking about? Everything that gets built for absolutely anything in the United States uses steel and aluminum because those are the two main products that they're putting into buildings right now. So without that coming in, you're going to see everything in the US just be like, hold up a second. Are we sure that we have the funds and the liquidity to keep up with being in this market right now? And I'm not sure that everyone does have that kind of liquidity, so they're going to try and pull it out.
Yeah, no, you bring a really valid point. Is because when you have those tariffs hitting, then naturally you're not going to have as much purchasing. It's gonna affect it's gonna affect inflation. Frankly, is usually what ends up happening. And then this week also, besides just this coming out over the weekend and kind of getting markets a little bit sideways, there's a big week in data. I think we have CPI, PPI data coming, and that's really going to determine a little bit of like, the producer prices, what their raw materials cost, how that's going to affect inflation. So this week, I expect things to be a little bit volatile. I know everyone's been in this like really impatient for the last couple of years with the bear market. November came, everyone's getting excited. Bitcoin's up, all coins are going back up again. And then now we're kind of like seeing some of the lowest we've seen with altcoins. Like the prices are just so low on a majority of them. There's a couple exceptions. And Bitcoin still, I mean, we can't, it's at 97,000. You can't, that's still actually very good for the past year. But I am feeling that for the next couple weeks at least, we're going to still experience this sort of choppiness. Alts are still going to be pushed down, and we're going to have to get through really this week of data and see how markets react a little bit before we could get, stabilize and hopefully, go up. I mean, ultimately, this is the year. This is the part of the cycle where things should start going up soon.
I think it's interesting because even just this morning, I was reading an article how the craziness of XRP getting an ETF and how that's getting pushed towards the US government, and how like Brad Garlinghouse is going to be joining some of like the regulatory side of what the United States is doing. Like, there's just some weird stuff going on that aspect, which is very interesting to see. Then you almost have to accept that the choppiness is going to maintain every time that Trump says something. Like, sure, you can see these amazing like snippets of potentially good news coming through in crypto, but then you're like, is he going to hit another country with tariffs? Is that country going to retaliate with similar tariffs? And then we still don't know. Like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, there's still so many pieces that he's just like, we've cut this out of the government now, and people are like, did we need that? Do we need that? Should we
Well,
money in case we needed something that was associated with that? And that's kind of throwing people for a loop, especially when you look at like US aid. BBC. BBC had to announce that 8% of their funding was coming from US aid. Like, that was craziness.
I think that a lot of people don't realize with cutting or drastic cutting of budgets and getting rid of certain departments or dismantling them, what the actual effect is. Now, it sounds good when you read a tweet, sounds good maybe on paper a little bit. We're going to get this, we're going to save all this money. But it actually affects a lot of things, because I was overlooking some of it, to be completely honest. This morning, when I opened up what I believe is one of the more reliable weather sites for Houston, Texas area. It's not a big weather, but they access a lot of I guess programs and information weather data that's funded from different parts of the government. And the first thing it was saying is, before it even gotten the weather today, was how certain things are now affecting the data that they get, how accurate it could be or how quick, and how that could possibly affect when they're talking about predictions of storms and different things that could happen. Now, I'm on the Gulf Coast, which I've already had my property beat up multiple times from hurricanes. So now hearing from one of my most trusted independent weather people saying that, look at all this information that we use and others use might not be as accessible because of things like this. Then you start to think, all right, where am I actually going to feel it? Right? Like, so, well, it's going to be a bumpy ride. I think what you said is, as soon as Trump says something, markets can react one way or the other. He says something, Bitcoin positive, the market goes up. Says something with tariffs, it's going down. So, I guess we'll take this day by day. But I tend to think and I tend to believe in the cycle that we're going to be trending upwards. And by doing that, when you zoom out, let's fast forward a year and a half from now. We zoom out, we're going to see those 5, 10, 15, maybe even 30% pullbacks at times, but it should still be trending up.
But that's the nice part about it. Like to some degree, we've had for the people that have been in the market a while, we're now at the point where like we trust certain things to just kind of come to fruition. So we're just like, no, we'll play the longer game because we've been playing the longest game in comparison.
I was gonna say, do you have we have to play the long game sometimes because of how volatile things are. It just depends on when you jump in the cycle. I think is
I know of people right now who just just during this past swing, they really like let it up, and then they finally like the market's topping out, and they're like, oh my gosh, Bitcoin just hit 100K. Oh my gosh, Bitcoin just hit 100, 101, 102. And then people are just like, I need to buy into every crypto possible. I need to like capture as many of these gains as possible. And then they don't even realize that like it's not quite that easy. And now as they put all this money in at like questionable tops, and now we're going back into the pullbacks, they're like, oh, I don't know enough. Do I pull out my money? Do I sell? Like I'm going to sell for a loss. And now you have a bunch of people who are new to the market where they're like, I don't think I understood what was going on. And now I have to
or they
learn
overinvested
really quickly.
Where they saw how quickly things have moved, jump in, say, hey, look at, maybe they only have, I'll just make this up, $5,000. And they're like, all right, I'm going to put 2,500 in Bitcoin and 2,500 in alts. And then this pullback happens, right? And they get scared, like you said. Now, maybe they're not selling, but what we know is to DCA usually. You take advantage of the dips if you can. And if you already spent all that money, you can't do that. So it's always good to have dry powder on the side. And people who are getting in who are new need to be aware of that the market's volatile. I mean, I guess with risk comes reward. And if you have conviction in Bitcoin, in crypto, in blockchain, DePIN, AI, all of this, then this isn't something that you're looking for like generally like a quick buck. I mean, most people are, but you're going to be in this this is the future. So getting in now, learning about it, learning about the different sectors, DCA, and it's probably going to be your I don't know, your best road to, I guess that financial freedom, or at least making some gains. I haven't seen anyone who's done a DCA model really that's gone down. I mean, you have to take profits at a certain point, but if you DCA'd over the last, even from cycle top to now, from last cycle to now, you'd probably still be up if you did it all through the bear.
So I will admit, a bunch of my friends at the beginning of last year, we all started, I think it was like with $100 and tried to see how big that we would get by the end of the year. I had done like a bunch of meme coins early on and then just left it all in Solana and just put it off to the side. So by the end of the year, my $100 became, I think it was like around like 12 to 1400, just through like all the meme coins and selling back into Solana. So that was actually pretty awesome. But one of my other friends, he ended up making like, I want to say he was close to 11 to 12K. And that's because he was just actively trading and doing shorts and just watching the market. And then he would just DCA throughout the whole entire time period with the funds that he had saved back up. It was crazy. He did a lot better than I did, so it was impressive to watch.
See, I would fear that if I started trading, especially with leverage, that within a couple trades, that the $100 would be gone, and then that would be over. I'd probably put it into meme coins as well. At least try to get it up to 500 or so before maybe DCAing it. But oddly enough, a year ago, if you would have put half of that into XRP and half of that into Cardano or something, you could have or HBAR or Algorand, you probably could have 5 or 6x it just on that too. So there's a couple of interesting ones that did well.
No, that's very true. Actually, I'm curious about your perspective on some of the stable coins that have been around right now, especially like we've kind of seen their expansion in the current market, like USDT just basically printing money. And then USDC getting more crucial roles, helping like facilitate some of the DeFi, like decentralized finance options that are out there. Like, what are you seeing? How do you feel about it? I mean, we just saw, what is it, the um
XRP, that's
U
stable.
yeah, USR or
Our
or
USD.
RUSDT or RSUT. Oh my gosh, it's one of those RSUSD or something like that.
Well, I'm not using that one as of yet because I can't even remember what letter combination it has. Look, for the longest time, I've been using USDT, right? I think a lot of people have, even more so, at least in everyone that I, talk to, rather than USDC. One thing I can say is that there's constant FUD about USDT all the time. Every couple months, there's something big. But so far, no issues. I will say that in some work that I've done, I have been paid in USDC because I feel that some of the organizations or projects out there kind of prefer dealing with USDC over USDT. Maybe that's just because of where they're incorporated. I don't know. That might be more on the legal side, to be honest with you. But
I have seen more trust in USDT legally than I have in USDC. Like that has
really,
been a conversation in the past, especially when talking with some VCs during like the NFT craze. Like a lot more VCs were okay with USDT than they were with USDC at the
I'm
time.
wondering if it was just because of fees or speed or anything like, or was it over? It was over legal. You
Most
think?
of the time, it usually was like they were like, based on our legal team, we feel comfortable doing our settlements in USDT. And
Interesting.
that happened with, I think, like 3 or 4 different companies that I went into VC talks with, just because like at the time everyone was trying to get VC money, and it's kind of interesting to see how USDC is now changed. A lot of people looking at it, and then maybe from like the Coinbase side, where if you're just holding USDC, you're essentially going to be making money off of it. So it's pretty cool to see the things change.
Yeah, look at this. Was Circle reporting here? 56.3 billion market cap, and actually gaining back from losses during the bear market, which which doesn't surprise me. I mean, I think everybody is sort of trying to claw their way back from the last few years. Um, yeah, I know. Stable coins, though, I think are going to continue to be just such a huge part. And even down to, the retail user, you have to take profits, right? So if you've been through cycles before, you know that some of these exchanges sometimes have issues when you want to use them at the peak of the market. You're like, oh, let me do some transactions, things like that, right? So in my mind, I feel like I don't want to say like my loophole is going to be make sure I'm scaling out of some things into some stables and not hammering down on the exchange. Stables should stay what they're worth. They should keep their value. And I should be able to then, at the right time, then off ramp. That's, play it a little bit like that, as opposed to trying to do something during the exchange and having the issue. Now, in doing so, you have to, rely on those stable coins. Now, USDC with that 56 billion market cap, I've been to several of Circle's events. I've talked with people from Circle at different conferences. Although I haven't used USDC, like I said, a ton myself, I'm not opposed to using it. And, but right now, USDT has been a little bit more in my what's it called? In my use, or in my wallet. So,
Well, that's an interesting headline. It's kind of cool though.
kind of cool. So CZ admits Binance token listing process is flawed and needs reform. So on surface level, definitely, because exchanges are listing on volume. They make money, right? They're making money on coins that are being traded on the volume. So one thing you could see from meme coins is a token's launched, gains some traction overnight, hits 100, 200, 300 million market cap. within hours or overnight. Well, I did have notifications on Telegram until now I have a new account, but I'll have to set them up where when things are listed, it would send me a message. So I would have a chat that knows. So I'd see meme coins within 6 hours, 2 hours on Bing X, on MEXC, LBank, and it's because of the volume. Now, let's just say you're a credible project. You've been grinding hard even before coming out to the public and announcing, maybe you're a couple 100 million market cap right now, but you have, a team of 50. You have actual products and services, like you're grinding and you want to get on some of these exchanges because your volume isn't million or wasn't a million on your first day of coming out. They'll turn around and say, hey, that's 60,000. That's 30,000 or whatever it might be. And it could be a mixture of, USDC or USDT and the token. There's so many different ways that they work this out, but it blows my mind. You see an exchange I know, for example, asks 60 to somebody I know, and then the next day a token goes to 100 million in 6 hours and they're listed no problem. So
that happens. That has been happening for so long that it's almost frustrating because that some products are just genuinely good. Like they work, they're functional, the team is there, they're all present, no one's trying to rug you, and yet they're struggling to get the things that they need to move forward. And you're like, why? Like, this doesn't make any sense. You've proven that you know what you're doing, and you still aren't going to get listed. Like that. That's the frustration for sure.
And look at so this is saying, so the co-founders is what clarifying here about the process, and this mainly comes from the Binance listed TST token, which I guess rallied to 500 million just on hype. So, I mean, it's essentially just meme coin hype.
That is just meme coin hype. But
yeah, and so
haven't we seen that same kind of meme coin hype like transfer almost exactly into basically AI tokens
or AI agents? Yeah, I mean, AI tokens, AI agents. Yeah, some of them cooled off, but I still think that it's very hot market. And I mean, what time is it? It's only 11:30 here. I mean, give it about 20 or 30 more minutes. I'm sure there's another one that's going to pop off and run to half a billy. We see this almost on a day-to-day. You wake up and you're like, oh, which ones did I miss? But everyone watching it is very risky. As a casino, some of these AI agents as well kind of group them into the narrative of the meme coins with a lot of these other political ones and whatnot, which even some of the ones like Trump token, I believe, is way down. And look at Solana when is at 200 essentially, when that was almost at 300 when you had a lot of that meme coin hype and those tokens going. So, between AI agents, meme tokens, when the market gets past this choppy phase and Solana starts running, we'll see a lot of those run back up. So for all the degens out there, there's definitely some good ones that might turn around, and even some meme coins that I guess got sick of being meme coins and developed utility, and those are sort of becoming bigger. And I'll just throw a couple out there because one, like, I don't know, swag starts coming my way, and this is an interesting one. I just remembered is let's see if I see this. Is Baby Snack. So this is
I don't think I was expecting that.
That's why I had to do it. So it's a Baby Snack plushie, and it's a lockable. It's whole tied to Cardano and all this other stuff. So they're bringing in RWA into that play. And the only quick comparison I'll sort of say is I kind of think, and most people might think, is like Pudgy Penguins and how they're out at Walmart. I believe you scan them, there might be some sort of token claim or something that they're trying to do now with they have a token out. But this is one way of a project, tapping into another source of possible revenue and bridging and bringing blockchain to an actual asset. And that's something that's, someone like me who's an adult who's, kind of geeky here, like, oh yeah, I want one of those. And then it's
Do you know what? I, every time that I see a really good plushie come out, I cannot help but think about Neopets. I just can't help it, man. Every time, like that baby snack, literally, that's a
Was
Neopet
it?
to me. Like 100%, that looks like one.
I mean, I've got various merch and products that people are trying to do, and I have to admit, like the packaging, custom labeling on this, like across the board, awesome. And that's one way. Another project I might have mentioned last time, and I don't know, it's just big on is a meme coin that went the RWA route, which was Big Red, because they have horse racing. So
Yes.
let me see how
Actually, I
much.
think they just won,
Yeah.
didn't
So
they? Yeah, their lead horse just won the race. This past weekend, the weekend before?
yeah, let's see if I could. Should we pull this up here? Let's see. Here's their. Well, maybe not. Let me add to stage. There we go. So yeah, so Big Red is full transparency. I bought Big Red when they launched back in about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like 6, 7 horses, and they were through a meme coin play at first, but then went the RWA route and have a stable. So Beantown Babe was their first horse to get first place, and this was just right before the weekend. Unfortunately, if you're familiar with the way harness races work, the horses could get claimed. So this one got claimed. I believe they're about to claim another horse, but there's like 6 or 7 in the stable, and this is just one way of being part of their community, that there's weekly races because of all these horses. So they're building out a stable, and this is a meme token that took on its own path now to be RWA and really focused on horse racing. What's even crazier about this is they drew attention. Let me see if I can pull it up on right here. So they've teamed up with Nero, sister of
Oh,
Doge. So now they own part of one of the horses in the stable, and they're planning to get more involved, because what they're doing is, let's see if they put it here. They must have posted about it recently. They're actually donating a part of their a part of their winnings to charity. Like, I'm not going to find it now because they
I mean,
just
there was
post
that
so
stable
much.
portion right above. I'm not sure if you saw that one.
Which one?
Right above that one.
Oh, yep, expanded their portfolio with a 10% stake. So they just actually expanded into one of the other horses, and all of the shares directly go into their charity through their foundation.
That's
So
amazing.
this is starting to spread. You have other projects and tokens that want to get involved. They're doing great things with the winnings. This should go back in rewards to NFT holders, to buybacks and burns. So this is just a sample of a token that is now taken on a different path, which is amazing. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this as the cycle moves on. I think we're going to see a lot more meme tokens have to take on some utility, just because of how short their lifespans are becoming.
So, well, there is some credence to, should a meme coin still really continue to exist? Like, I will always give credence to that argument. If someone's going to throw it out there, yeah, I'll question, should a meme coin really exist? But if it's going into RWAs, is it still a meme coin anymore?
No,
Or
I think
does it genuinely start to become like a real line of investment where, like, you have the ability to understand what's going on, you see where it's making money, or what it could potentially do to help yield you money in the future? Like, those are, it gets further and further away from meme coin culture and just being like, oh, let's make jokes and pranks on each other all the time. And now it's just like, no, let's go to the horse races together. And you're like, what? And you're like, yeah, we were meme coiners together, but now we're drinking like cool G's down at the horse races. Like,
no.
it's
I mean,
crazy.
I think that you're right. It's not a meme token. It's a project. It's an RWA project now. Maybe its roots and the community was based off of a meme, and off of that community developing, but from that, but they took the community and they turned them on to a utility, and it have brought added value to everyone who is in there. And yeah, I mean, some meme coins, they just got to stay memes. That's all. You're a meme coin, just stay a meme. You don't need to do anything else. You'll do well. I'm sure we're going to see some that are do well, but we will, I'm sure, see a lot more that are going to, I don't know, transform or grow into finding their different thing. Like RWA is, I feel like this cycle, I feel like it's going to be next cycle is really going to be RWA's time to shine. I think people are just starting to embrace it, learn about it. Everyone's still a little focused and hyped up on DePIN and AI, but I really believe when you turn around and look at everything that RWA can be applied to, businesses like brick and mortar businesses, like products, everything, you're going to see a lot of people use the model, that RWA model, for their business. So
I can see a lot of mom and pop shops being willing to break out and tokenize if they know the people that they're associated with. Oh, hey, Action. Welcome to the conversation.
Surprise, surprise.
Whoa.
A quick break here and make sure. So I'm just being the producer in the background. Don't worry about me. I got a promo for you guys from today's sponsor. I just made this up, but here you go.
Whoa! Hold your horses! Big Red has done a full 360. We went from a meme to building an empire in harness racing. And it's all powered by our RWA ecosystem. This horse, a real champion. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is he the driver? Nah, I'm just along for the ride. Big Red Racing Stables has partnered with the top names in the sport to make this amazing ecosystem possible on the AVAX blockchain. So saddle up, grab a Big Red Racing NFT or TD token, and let's race to the top together. Trust me, you don't want to miss this ride.
Hold on a second. I stand corrected. They went from meme to empire.
That was actually impressive.
No, Action. Thank you for playing that. And, look, that's the thing that was crazy about that actually becoming now a utility or the horse racing is that nobody knew. Like they were working in the background for months. And then all of a sudden they're like, by the way, we have this NFT. This is going to be the rewards. This is what we're doing. And it just took off from there. So hats off to Big Red. And, that was an awesome video there that basically explains what happened. But they have watch parties every week. So I suggest to go check that out if, it's a different play on the RWA sector. So. Yeah.
Very, very true. And honestly, everyone in that community has been a lot of fun over the past year, especially just seeing them and meeting them at different events. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I won't BS. What I'm looking forward to is going back up to the Northeast, going to check out a race, going to the farm and doing all that, having the benefit of being one of the holders. But I'm going to be able to get apparently in the cart and go for test ride around at the farm and maybe depending on their trainer Travis, I might even get a chance to learn and become a driver in one of the amateur races. So what would make this even crazier is, say it's 6 months from now, we're doing a stream and it's like, hold on a second, remember that project Big Red we were telling you about? Well, you see that guy in the silly little outfit right there? And I'll be like, hey, and then go, and then hopefully win a race for Big Red. No, but that actually I'm going to try to do that, but I'm going to go visit and talk with them, and it'll be great. But love that project, and it's kind of cool. So I know with everything that and let me thank Genzio for hosting today's stream and letting us do everything. Thank you, Toki, and they deal with a lot of projects in DePIN, in AI, in RWA. And this one is like, Big Red's a little bit like not in that focus right there. It's edging it way right in, because you usually see a lot of stuff that has to do with like real estate or other ways. So now, there's a widespread.
I'll be honest. over the past like was like 2 or 3 weeks where we've really like dialed in on spaces together, we've seen some very interesting use cases come together for RWAs. Not only in the sense of uranium with XU308 literally tokenizing uranium. That's an
Right.
insane thing. But then the potentials of tokenizing clean, fresh water. And then on the other side, what was it? The one guy is going to potentially start tokenizing his AI agent girlfriends. Like, there was the conversation got wild, but whoa.
No, I got caught up right away on the tokenization of uranium. Honestly, I mean, that's not my what's it called? My sector, my specialty, my profession at all.
Hmm.
I don't know anything about it. When I step back and think about it, I'm like, that makes sense because it's physically taking all of your product or all of that uranium, putting it on the blockchain. It is essentially tracking it, and keeping a tally of it. And really, I don't care what it is. People trade Pokemon cards. They trade, you trade anything.
Hmm.
Everybody could always find something to flip to try to make some more money. So why not uranium? Why? It's just like gold or anything else. It's a profitable, and then to tokenize it, keep track of it, fractional ownership. It makes sense. It really does. You don't have to take possession of it, but you could still take part in the market.
I guess like I guess whenever we are looking at the fact of like these are commodities at the end of the day, and it is different from real estate. It is different from I'd say the more natural plays that we've seen of like ownership. This is really coming down to high value commodities being traded like never before. Like
Yeah.
the average man has not had access to get in on the minimum, what is it, like $3.5 million deals to get the base order of uranium. And now it's like, oh, now I can go buy the token that's partial ownership and get my payments along the way. There's just
I think it helps with anything that has credit investing, where you have to be, what is that? You have to be worth, I forget, maybe like $1 million on certain things to have access to qualify to get into certain projects or certain companies. Um, when it's tokenized, then it opens it up. There doesn't matter. You can have just a small little bit or not. And I think that evens the playing field, allowing everyone to get involved. If there's only certain wealth allowed to invest into certain things, you have zero chance if you're not in that bracket to make any money.
mhm.
I want my shot.
Yeah.
So oh uh, so everyone, that's what I possibly could look like. This is, see, look at
You say possibly. We're saying
possibly.
it's gonna
That's
happen.
that was we were looking right into the future there. Me as a driver on one of the horses, and that's probably the best thing about having action hiding out in the background here, is that we don't know what could happen during stream.
I'm
So
gonna say something pretty crazy. Whenever you think about what crypto has done for your life, did you ever imagine the absolute nonsense of a journey that your life would suddenly be on, such as traveling the world, getting involved with like karate combat, the IFC, different like skateboarding projects, but then also on the flip side, getting into like podcasts and meme coins and trading, and then like I don't think that I ever thought that getting into crypto would suddenly lead to me exploring more of the world than I did when I was active duty military. And yet somehow I've seen more of Asia than I ever expected I could. And I love this crazy journey that we're on.
I honestly thought, well, and it did for the longest time, that being involved in crypto was not about being anonymous, that you don't know who I am at all. And like, wow, these conferences and these events might be getting bigger, and crypto is getting bigger in general. The more anonymous people are getting, you know what I mean? Like, we're just staying
Hmm.
quiet. But truth be told, a few years ago, I'm in so many chats and talking with so many people, and, there's a part of me that wants to help and try to provide some value. And I saw that, there's a project that needed some help. So I reached out and volunteered, and one thing leads to the next. But you're right. Like, I wouldn't have thought that it brings us to all these great events, traveling around the world, working with such great projects, meeting such amazing people. And and this was my personality prior to being doxxed. This was not my old profile photo, but very, very close to it. So for all of those that go back a few years, Action has decided to pull up my original profile photo. They're from Tropic Thunder. And that's where
I think my favorite thing is that so many people thought that you were a black guy before they met you. And so many people thought that I was an Asian man before they met me. And yet here we are, just two random white guys.
Just two white dudes just talking random crypto here at, I don't know, 11, 12 in the morning.
All right,
No, I mean,
what? I want to get your takes on it, since you guys are all about the white dudes talking crypto. I got a little clip that I want to share here, since we're talking memes and everything else, and I want to get your takes on it. It's okay, Toki. It's okay. It's okay. I love being in the background, guys. This is amazing. I get to put up whatever I want, and these guys get to talk about it. This is phenomenal. I need to produce more often.
This is like what is this? Like charades, or one of those games, or categories where you just put stuff and like we act it out.
Except,
no.
I tried to buy a real thing with real liquidity with Jail Stool. Let people, you're so dumb. You fucking crypto fucking guys. So small, so short-sighted. Let me get real liquidity from outside your crypto world. You think people know how to use a Phantom wallet and how to use Moonshot and all this shit? They don't. I have 100,000 people holding my token, and I'm bringing people in. Who's going to play this game if you guys are sniping them the second it goes up a little bit? Let the thing roll, you morons. I'm like Jail Stool. I want to see, how does this go? What can I get it to? I got like 225 million market cap. Can somebody explain to me Fartcoin? How does Fartcoin have 600 million? What is going on there? Who is buying Fartcoin? You had somebody who literally is like, I'm not selling. I'm going to promote this shit for free. And what is the thanks I get when Kraken lists it, which you idiots don't get? That lets normal people try to get involved. You start clipping it. Why? Because you're greedy and selfish. I have plenty of money. I'm trying to like build something that I thought would be good for everybody, and you selfish, choose rich, mutant holes couldn't handle it. Pisses me off. Everyone wants quick, get out. Fine, that's fine. By the way, that's fine. That's fine. When I say I hold, I hold. Jail Stool, it was up to over $6 million. I didn't touch, and I'm still promoting it, trying to get up, saying I won't touch it for years, basically. Couldn't handle it. You guys couldn't take it. Ooh, makes me mad. I'm trying to help. Like, I want to make people money, believe it or not. But I don't want to make mutants money. I want to make normal people who, like, don't necessarily totally get this game. And you won't let them. You sniped them. Ooh, makes me mad.
Man, the one thing I think when I see that, I mean, obviously it's funny as heck. But just the other day, didn't he post something or say something about how he bought in and that he's like, I'm going to sell it. And then he dumped it, he said like 75 grand. And everyone got all upset because he dumped the token or whatnot. He's like, I told you, like, that's why we're here. That's what I'm here, is to make some damn money or whatever. I put 10 grand in. It went up to this of, what was it? Matoya or something and some other token. There's 2 tokens. And then now, 48 hours later or whatnot, because of this other one that I don't even think he launched. I think it's almost like he CTO'd it. I honestly don't know the full story on it, but now he's I don't want to say like kind of crying or complaining the opposite way, that what the hell, I'm trying to bring normies in and you guys are clipping them. Like, this is all I got to say. It's PvP. That's what's going on. And there's nothing that me, Toki, you, Action, or probably anybody here watching could do to stop that. It is always going to exist. it's very, very hard. You could have still the fairest launch, the best tokens still run. There's still people on those days and on those candles trying to manipulate PvP action. They're saying they're buying and pushing it while dumping on their followers. I mean, like, so he needs to think of other ways to I don't know, to figure that token out, I guess, a little bit more.
I don't think everyone should be launching a token.
Well,
There are so many tokens out there that have absolutely zero worth, value, like do anything, add to any part of what's going on around us other than the experiment that potentially is crypto. And
so
then you also have, what was it? I think it was like over 200 different tokens that have to be removed from pump.fun. Like there's so much IP that's like just basically been just dribbled over, and just who cares? Actually, I know Action wants to rant on this. Let's give him a shot. Let's see what he can do. Come on, Action.
You want me to go off on people? Is that what you're looking
Yes.
for?
Yes.
I can do that. And you know what? I'll use this little thing here as an example. Make sure I can actually share this tab. All right. If y'all don't know, Killer Whales launches today, so you can actually watch it on Apple streaming, Amazon Prime, and all of the other stuff. And here's my big pet peeve with all of this stuff. I am sick and tired of people coming out there and just complaining left and right. Portnoy is a perfect example of that. And this happens with quote unquote founders all the time. Like, why are you guys dumping on the token? Like, we have something great here. Why is everybody not following suit? Well, guess what? You want to play the PvP game? Well, you're playing the PvP game, right? So the bottom line, we have people trying to add to the space and we have people trying to take away from it. Just because somebody said, oh yeah, I'm trying to build something here, does not mean that they are doing anything good or grand for this space. It just means that they like themselves, like to hear themselves, and want people to support them. They're trying to be a leader from the top down as opposed to doing it from the bottom up. Now, if all you're going to do is extract, because that's what it is. You're saying, oh, we're bringing in the normies. You're not bringing in anybody by dumping on them and making everybody feel like they are having to look over their shoulder at every single buy or sell that they're doing. That just sucks. Like, don't get me wrong. I had some people kind of go off on me like, oh, Killer Whale sucks. Like, sure, it's might not be your best primetime show, but guess what? People like that are not taking away from this space. Quite the opposite. They're going out to Amazon and getting Amazon to fund a bunch of this stuff. Their first season was already profitable. They're highlighting people building in this space. They're highlighting how to actually do a little bit of due diligence. Not always the best, don't get me wrong. Rand still sucks and I hate his takes all the time. But you got good people on there. Like finally, I figured out that there are some things that can make George from Cryptos R Us smile. Usually money. But he's still being a little bitch and won't fight me in the IFC, so it's okay. What else? There's good people on there. I mean, not gonna lie. Yeah, there's Aaron and Austin. They're good people. There's also bad people in there that I completely disagree with, but they've been profitable, so people like them. Regardless of what's going on, the bottom line, I love that I can hear Scott laughing in the background. The bottom line for me is that if you're just taking away from the space, I don't care who you are. I don't care how profitable, how, good you are at what you do, or how you think you're good at rating pizzas. You're nobody to me. And I'm definitely not going to follow you. You're going to get unfollowed as fast as I unfollowed Kanye West. Let me just put it that way. And shout out that he's now gone.
Hold up a second. Yo, so wait, on that rant. So somebody said this. Is there a token? You know what? In that whole rant that Action did, the smartest thing I would think is if Portnoy really wanted to bring value to the space, bring in people, not have them be dumped on or whatever, wouldn't have just jumped on this one token a couple days after saying the opposite. What he probably should have done or should do is he has that app. He's known for the pizza reviews or something like that. Why not try to incorporate that into some sort of token? Maybe it ties into it with some sort of benefit, create that into an RWA play, possibly that it could get you discounts at certain spots. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here or whatever. But if you want to say that you're coming out, you're trying to bring people in, provide value, don't dump on them or whatever, if you have something that makes you want to retain the token, not just a quick dump it the next day, then you have a project there. It could be a fun meme coin project with some utility.
The
But it
problem
requires a team and work.
The problem, Scott, is that you're thinking like a builder. You're thinking like somebody that actually cares about the space. These people don't. They're not like going, okay, I have a like this thing going on with pizza. Maybe I can launch some type of pizza token and we can do rewards, and all the pizza places that I review can actually get into this thing and make it a bigger, even bigger economy. Now we're really bringing in the normies because people are every day eating pizza will now find out about this whole token thing and move forward. But no, that's not what's happening. People are just taking advantage of the system and trying to extract value. Like that's what I'm talking about.
People want to extract, and the easiest thing to do is extracting it from celebrities. They have lots of following. They get the attention. Someone's like, hey, you could sign your likeness away, make $250,000, make $1 million off of this. We'll give you some tokens. They're just
way more. I know.
And they're just
I talked to Nick last week. Like the amount of money that Kanye was getting offered to compromise his account for a few hours was ridiculous. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
And it's all for quick cash grabs, because when they're doing things like that, it's not for a project to sustain and to go the distance. Now, I'm really curious with, how, what was it, the SEC or the administration sort of, I don't think it's actually a law or whatever you want to, but didn't they say that memes and these are sort of considered like collectibles?
Yeah. I mean,
so, but is that
both meme coins and NFTs? So both.
So how do you feel that changes the landscape of celebrities and people launching meme tokens? Is that just give a pass to everyone, pretty much everyone? And we'll just start with celebrities to be like, oh, there's no actual legality here that prevents me from doing this. It's a collectible. Hey, it's my digital photo. Hey, maybe it'll get you a discount on a ticket. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, now everybody's just going to fire up their own token.
According to Pump That Fun co-founder, yeah, it's the same thing as an altcoin. So we're all in the clear. I don't care what you're trading. We're going to be okay. This is not legal, financial, any kind of advice, guys. Just putting it out there. I'm just showing you all what people are saying and how dumb some of these idiots are.
Pump Fun just a couple things. What was it on either this day or today's the 10th? Within the last few days, there was a day that said there's 57,000 tokens launched that day alone on Pump Fun. And then I just saw another article. I think that Pump Fun is going to be launching their own token. So,
I guess they have enough money to launch.
So it's
token.
adding gas to that fire. I know we took this whole Monday crypto market kind of thing towards the degen side, but I mean, this is seriously affecting all the other altcoins. It's affecting the greater crypto market. And every time I feel you have another celebrity every day or two jumping in and running up a couple 100 million and people getting dumped on, and you get some new people that come in and then they get wrecked and then they don't want to go. Like, are they actually keeping any money in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, in Solana, and any of these others? Or are they just sort of maybe getting wrecked and leaving? Like, the greater effect, I think, is we're going to still see played out this year. And it doesn't look like...
Maybe I'm crazy, but you're describing dilution, right? It's the same thing as the government printing money. I'm not, like, seriously, like, here's an example of that. If you take a look, like, on CoinMarketCap, like, I know it's kind of tiny, but number of cryptos right here, 11.1 million different tokens launched. And the number keeps going up. Like, talk about dilution. That's why having an altcoin season is a little difficult, because everybody has a coin. All the money that should have gone into some specific things is now being spread out across 11.1 million tokens.
Mexi has about 10 million on their exchange. No, I'm just joking.
Hey, now, they don't go to just anyone. They go to everyone.
30,000 guys, 30,000 list. Let me know.
Or me. Or him.
There you go.
Whichever one.
But I know that we're coming about 5 minutes up to the top of the hour. Is that what you call it? Or top of the hour, bottom of the hour. I don't know. Man, any final kind of thoughts on the market this week, on what you're expecting, are we just going to see choppiness, maybe get some not so flattering inflation news this week, and then at the same time see a random meme called butt token or something go to 10 billion and
I
then back
mean,
to
I don't
zero.
know if we're gonna watch Kulo go to 10 million, but if it did, congratulations
Well,
to all those still holding.
well, you know what I mean. Just like random
No.
token to 10 billion and then back to zero overnight.
Oh man.
I don't know.
I think I'll take it away in the sense of I know that we're going to see more regulations or more clarity on regulations coming from the United States, which is genuinely nice to hear. I think that we're going to see more of the European countries kind of diving into what MiCA is and kind of testing out the footing and how things can actually work there. Um, I do feel because of the current administration, we may see some companies that maybe initially thought that they were going to be leaving the United States for a European country or for a different country. It may actually encourage them to stay here and try and find another way to operate here, especially if they can get everything cleared out from the SEC.
Like
They're,
crypto projects, you mean?
yeah, crypto
Yeah.
projects. Because I think that was like the biggest line that was drawn in the sand was we knew that a lot of different crypto projects were going to leave the United States if things were continuing to progress down the line that it was. And
Well, if it goes this direction where benefits having your project based out of the United States, I feel that we're going to see, more people obviously want to open here, more people, more projects have their foundations opened here, even transferred here. But I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, maybe, which could span to another, who knows how long of a conversation. But this came up in a chat a couple days ago about these projects, like especially with capital gains, that if you have an American-based crypto, that you're exempt from capital gains. Now, what about all those, because of the way things are loosely tracked, what about all those projects that people hold that aren't? Could you go to not just hypothetically, go to an exchange that doesn't have KYC, swap it to an American-based crypto, move it back over to Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, whatever? They have no idea what it was, put it through a mixer, I don't know, but get it back into a project that's based from the States and then withdraw and take no tax.
oh
We
no,
don't.
he's muted.
Oh, he's muted. That's why, because no one wants to hear that nonsense.
I mean, it is nonsense. Just a reminder that it's not legal, financial, nor tax
no,
advice,
no.
okay, guys? Because he's just describing tax fraud.
No. I'm not giving financial advice here. I'm just saying, because lots of people they're not monitoring their trades, or people are doing this stuff.
I think if someone's doing that, they are monitoring their trades very closely.
That is definitely a deliberate method. But there's lots of people who have been doing trades on DEXs and multiple exchanges and moving stuff around in various ways that is a gray area. Now, I don't know what classifies this. This is where we're going to see regulation develop. But when you just say, hey, we're not going to tax this, then that opens up a whole bunch of questions for people on what they're on how they're going to move their money around and how they already are moving their money around in anticipation for that. So I guess
thankfully there are experts out there in the crypto tax sphere, and if you do need recommendations, I'm sure you can reach out to one of us and we can help you get aligned with one of those people.
Yeah, well, maybe not me. You don't want my accountant. No, I'm just No, it's not financial advice. It's just these are questions that lots of people, like I said, it's come up in chat before, and this is the landscape that's coming up, and we're all fairly new to this sector. There's lots of people coming in, and then they're going to end up going to their accountants at the end of the year and have no idea what's going on. And I do think we'll see some regulation and things go into place, and we'll go from there. Oh, aren't qualified.
Of course, we aren't qualified.
Yeah. Well, that's another that poses another example. Will things in the future? Will we be able to see stuff like that in the U.S.? Will there be certain vesting periods and lockups for tokens for companies based in the States because of regulation or new security laws?
That's a good point.
These doors could open. Airdrops could open. Maybe you'll have to KYC.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But that's a topic for another time.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's been fun, Toki, and thank you, Genzio, for hosting this. And everybody should be sharing and retweeting and following and commenting. And let us know what you want to action. Toby, I said Toki. Toki. I read your name like this. Yeah, it's Monday, everyone. We'll get this in order.
All good.
Yeah, what do you got? Any closing remarks for anyone out there?
Honestly, I'm just glad that we're able to start doing these podcasts together. I'm glad that Genzio gave us the opportunity to do this, and now I'm just looking forward to hitting this on a regular schedule. Like this is a lot of fun. Like finally getting to get into our own groove.
Yeah, no, I think that we bump this up. Hopefully, do it a few days a week. We could cover news, get to great questions from the comments, cover projects that people want to see, and hopefully provide some from Alpha. And plus, with all the different events that we're traveling to, that you've been going to, there'll be a lot of great places to get some content and cast from and bring to everyone out there watching. So, looking forward to the next one.
Would love to pose a question.
What's up?
I just want to pose a question. And y'all can like either do like comments right now or leave a comment on the post itself, because that actually sticks around longer. Would you like to have this show happen more often? Because I've heard from a few people asking, why only Mondays? Why can't we do it, on Fridays as well, to open the week and close the week? And then some people are like, let's do it every day or every other day. So I would love to hear from everybody in regards to frequency. How often would you like to hear this beautiful intro music right here?
Web 2, Web 3, stay in the know. Action, Dabatola, Toki in the zone, breaking down the latest straight to your phone. From Web 3 shifts to Web the wave.
3 days a week.
That's what my gut's saying. Like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then if there's some hot news that just can't be missed on a Tuesday, it could be, or a Thursday, it could be like a surprise.
I mean,
we're here,
and I can totally see that happening once we this thing goes live.
We're gonna be going live from the track with Big Red Stables and me as the driver. Let's go.
You'll see me as a correspondent. Don't worry.
We are standing here on the side of the track, keeping track of what's going on with Dabatola. Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
He's making a left turn.
He's going around in circles.
He's making another left turn.
As long as I stay in the thing, then it's fine. Because for some reason, it would be probably the worst thing to be the one guy that gets like popped out of the little seat. On the track.
Okay, that was actually pretty.
NASCAR.
Well, that was my favorite part of Gladiator.
Oh, I think you say NASCAR, and I was like, "Yo, stop!"
No, you guys remember them going around the track and all the. You know what I'm talking about. You saw it. I'm sure you watched that movie.
I'm sure we did.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Toki, did Toki get his final thoughts in here? You know what? Oh. Hey guys, super excited to have the ability of removing everybody else from stage.
So, as Action said, make sure to leave a comment if you want to see us around more often. I think the whole point of us doing bringing this stream, podcast, whatever you want to call it, is bring you some info, have a good time, and maybe make some money, and but really I think the main thing is having a good time and
make some money. You guys are getting paid?
No. Saying help people make some money. It's not financial advice, but you talk about great projects. Some people might follow them and make some investments, and maybe they'll make some money off of that. But it's always good to be here with you guys, and just have a good laugh, start off the week on the right foot, and looking forward to the next one.
I love it. Y'all are awesome. Let me tell you, an exciting day. And these guys are legends, and I can't wait for the next one. Let me put up Toki's fighting picture up here real quick before we go. Y'all are awesome. Make sure you're smashing that like, sharing this stream out with everybody else. And yeah, let's have a great time. Have a great
out,
week,
y'all.
everybody.